This is the epic story of the Golden Fleece, a legendary object said to hold immense power and kingship. But the quest for it would come at a cost. It would bring together heroes, challenge gods, and break hearts. This is the tale of Jason and the Argonauts, of betrayal, of sacrifices, and of divine drama. Welcome to the Golden Fleece, quest, betrayal, and divine drama. Stay with us as we unravel one of the most captivating myths of all time. The beginning of the legend. Long ago, in the kingdom of Iolcus, a young prince named Jason was born. His father, Aeson, was the rightful king, but the throne had been stolen by his half-brother, the tyrant Peleus. To protect Jason, Aeson sent him away to be raised by the wise centaur Chiron. Jason grew up learning the arts of medicine, warfare, and leadership. When he came of age, he returned to Iolcus to reclaim his throne. But Peleus had no intention of surrendering power. He offered Jason a challenge instead: retrieve the Golden Fleece from the distant land of Colchis, and the throne would be his. It was a trap, but Jason accepted the challenge. Thus began one of the most legendary quests in Greek mythology. The assembly of the Argonauts. To complete his task, Jason gathered the mightiest heroes of Greece. They would be called the Argonauts, named after their ship, the Argo. Among them were Hercules, Orpheus, Atalanta, Castor, and Pollux, and many more. Each hero brought a unique strength to the crew. Together, they set sail on a journey that would test their courage and resolve. Perils on the voyage. The journey to Colchis was far from simple. The Argonauts faced mythical beasts, hostile lands, and divine challenges. They encountered the Harpies, tormenting the blind prophet, Phineus. In gratitude for their help, Phineus warned them of the Symplegades. These were clashing rocks that crushed anything in their path. Following Phineus's advice, they sent a dove ahead to gauge the danger. With precise timing, they passed through safely, narrowly escaping destruction. The gods were watching, both helping and hindering their path. Arrival at Colchis and the trials. When they arrived in Colchis, Jason met King Aeetes. The Golden Fleece was guarded in a sacred grove, watched over by a sleepless dragon. But Aeetes would not give it up easily. He set Jason a series of impossible tasks. Jason had to yoke fire-breathing bulls, plow a field with them, and sow it with dragon's teeth. From the earth rose an army of warriors. Jason, thinking quickly, threw a stone into the crowd. The warriors turned on each other, defeating themselves. But even with the tasks completed, Aeetes refused to hand over the fleece. Jason needed help from someone who could defy the king. Medea's betrayal. Enter Medea, the king's daughter, a powerful sorceress. Struck by love, or perhaps divine manipulation by the goddess Hera, she chose to help Jason. She gave him a potion to tame the bulls and a spell to put the dragon to sleep. With her help, Jason seized the Golden Fleece. But their escape was not without blood. Pursued by Aeetes, Medea committed a gruesome act. She killed her own brother, Apsyrtus, and scattered his remains in the sea. As her father stopped to gather the pieces, the Argo slipped away. This was not just betrayal, it was a dark turning point. The gods watched all. They did not ignore the crimes committed. Zeus and Hera had their own interests in Jason's quest. Some aided the heroes, while others opposed them. Poseidon helped calm the seas when needed. But the murder of Apsyrtus would come with divine consequences. The Argonauts wandered the seas, punished and delayed. Only after purification could they continue their journey home. Chance returned to Iolcus. When Jason and Medea returned to Iolcus, they found Peleus still in power. But Jason was not the same man who had left. He had the Golden Fleece. He had a sorceress by his side. Medea devised a cruel plan. She tricked Peleus's daughters into killing their own father. They believed Medea could make him young again. But it was a lie. Peleus died, and Jason reclaimed his throne. However, the gods were not pleased with their methods. Jason and Medea were exiled from Iolcus. Their tale took an even darker turn. The tragedy of Jason and Medea. They settled in Corinth, where they lived for years. But Jason eventually betrayed Medea. He sought to marry Glass, the daughter of the king of Corinth. This betrayal broke Medea. She took revenge in a way that shocked even the gods. She sent Glass a poisoned robe, killing her and her father. Then, in her most horrific act, she killed her own children. This was her final vengeance against Jason. She escaped, carried away by a chariot sent by the sun god Helios. Jason, once a hero, was left broken and alone. The legacy of the Golden Fleece. The Golden Fleece was never truly about gold or power. It was a symbol of divine favor, of destiny, of the price of ambition. Jason's quest brought him glory, but also ruin. It showed how the gods manipulate mortals for their own designs. It revealed the thin line between heroism and tragedy, and it gave the world one of the most haunting love stories in mythology. Medea remains a complex figure, heroine, villain, victim. Jason is remembered not for his triumph, but for his fall. And the Golden Fleece remains a timeless symbol in the tapestry of myth. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient myth. If you enjoyed learning about the epic of Jason and the Golden Fleece, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to Chronicles Explained for more stories from mythology, history, and legend. Share this with fellow mythology lovers and keep the legends alive. Your support helps us continue exploring these incredible tales.